aggressive. See if they can repeat the same kind of performance here in game number 3. We talk about the POS 1 Jug, by the way, John. Like, how do you feel about this going into the draft of SMG? Do you feel like it can work out here for Boom?
I think it's got a lot to play for. The biggest threat to the Jug is definitely Raging Potato with that crippling fear, but beyond that, Jackie has free reign to just spin through the Kunkka spell, spin out of the Wukongs if ever it comes through from mid 1. He's got some good damage output to play with if he can get the farm up, and I'm keen to see what Jackie does farm in this game. Like, will he go for Battle Fury, as we tend to see sometimes from some Jug players? Will he just go for the standard sort of Maelstrom build-up, start running around, play with a spin a little bit more, go for the Ags down the line? Like, the Jug does have to have that consistent game, and I think the side of SMG is going to have a pretty good time managing. Afu kind of just clearing out the Eidolons from Tim's, getting some good gold for himself with a level 1 Tidebringer. That does mean Jackie gets a little bit more room to just farm. So even though they can take away the Eidolons, as long as Jackie can zone out and still play in this lane before the first nighttime hits and before level 6 is up and raging, you're still fairly satisfied with that. And the kill threat of Kunkka and Night Stalker isn't the highest. It's double melee up against Enigma still. Malefice is still going to be a threat. Midnight Pulse, if a value point is taken, is pretty big as well. So Jackie should still have a fairly decent time getting some farm here.
We'll see how it does go. We should have a look at the other lanes as well. Mid lane, Moon against Yopaj here on the Pango versus Void Spirit matchup, and Yopaj has been playing tiny for the first 2 games, so this time around a bit of a switch up. Moon, his third different hero of the game being the Void Spirit. How is this matchup meant to go, John, the Void Spirit versus Pango?
It's fairly even back and forth. The Void Spirit can dodge out a lot of the physical output of the Pangolier with his Resonant Pulse, but Yopaj should still have a pretty smooth time farming up here and clearing out the creep wave, so should be relatively close for both sides. Rune Control, it's a little bit easier. So when I say that, Yopaj could just use the Swash to take Rune Control as well. Not ideal, considering that he does want to clear out the creep wave just a little bit more. I think it really just depends on support rotations for mid as well. I think if you can manage to get a good jump in with Skem in particular, the lane becomes a lot more manageable, but Moon is doing a great job, and every single time he lands his Remnant, it's a lot of damage to toss onto Yopaj, and he's just not able to spam his spells out as much. Manpool just not quite as high, doesn't have his bottle into the lane yet, so it's a slower start for Pango here.
How's that top lane going as well? I mean, Parlay Die in mid 1 against FBZ, and of course Skem there on the Hoodwink. We've got for a bit of a bushwhack here onto mid 1. FBZ have the speed to throw out, but still plenty of damage being dealt here towards the side of SMG. I suppose we've seen this matchup already today. The Mars versus Monkey King. Again, you get the Chingu Mastery, but you can always kind of just be speared away here by the Mars, and even Skem with the bushwhack can be quite annoying to try and fight against.
Just a lot of chipping damage across both sides. I am keen to see down the line, you know, something that I've always wondered, if Monkey King's on a tree and you use bushwhack on that tree, does Monkey King get tied up to his tree?
I think he does,
He should, right? I just want to see it. I don't think we've ever seen that, because Monkey just jumps around it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I've done it myself.
Alright, Monkey. Yeah, you don't have to show off like that.
I don't want to be a big shot or anything, John, but I'm pretty sure I bushwhacked a Monkey King myself in the game. 30 Hoodwink spammer than I am.
Gotta see it. Still, so far, slower lanes. Not too much aggression coming out. A little bit of dropping low on both sides, but not enough to really find a kill. The slower start does feel stronger for SMG. They're getting a lot more out from Moon and from Raging as well. He's keeping up with the farm of Jackie. So despite not having too much laning presence in terms of harassing out Jackie, he is still getting that build-up. Double Bracer already up for the Night Stalker. Only a minute until the first nighttime, so lots more value in the Hunter in the Night and a little bit more from Void as well. You are reaching that slower point for SMG to kind of just get that early timings they need. And if Raging isn't punished during the slower phase of Night Stalker's game, it does feel like the Night Stalker's going to be a massive issue. Like, again, once he's got that crippling fear in nighttime, he can just jump on Jackie before the spin's up and then just rip apart the Jug if you're not careful.
Well, no, he's dropping very low now, but oh, the neutral creep!
Whoa.
This kind of pushes himself away there. Very, very clever by Parlay Die. I didn't even know that was possible.
It just shoves everyone away, so manages to get the gap, the distancing that Pylida needs to save himself, not bleeding any kills out. Mid one's been having a great lane top, as you mentioned. You know, Monkey King tends to have a great time here, but down the line, FBZ is going to be able to threaten with Irina. We've seen him tree break mid one multiple times in that first game, so you have ways of stopping that mobility out. I think the big question on my mind here, Mike, is still what can Afu do on that support Kunkka? Right now, his focus has been just clearing out Eidolons. He's been getting some good gold off the back of it. 13 last hits on our pause 4, right behind FBZ. So the Kunkka is paying off in that sense, but not see that impact down the line.
Good impact, John. Pylai has been doing a fantastic job here for SMG, finding a first blood here for Skem. I'd say during game 2 was really quite influential on that IO. He's showing quite a bit of influence here on the Enchantress for game number 3.
Just getting all the big creeps he needs, getting control, going into that opposing triangle as well, clearing out the camps and getting some build up for himself right around the 5.5 minute mark. So going to be able to contest that 6-minute rune as well, getting that early rotation onto Yopaj. Doesn't have a roll up yet, could be in a spot of danger.
He may swashbuckle, be able to get him out of there as Pylai actually taking quite a bit of tower aggro. Yopaj still trying to chase a bit forward, but is going to be unable to chase down the Ench. Because you always want to try and get this done as the Enchantress, because you do have that level, or rather the 5-minute siege creep timing here for either side, but Pylai can take advantage of it with his own neutral creep. Yopaj actually going to go for the Rolling Thunder committal. The Bushwhack did not land from Skem, but he's going to keep trying to go after this kill. Pylai, however, is going to be just fine. Rolling Thunder would not work out, as I think they were heavily reliant on the Bushwhack landing initially. Once again, he'll be fine. In fact, Yopaj is going to keep trying to chase this man down and eventually does get him. In the meantime, down a bot lane, Afu was getting rather low, but is also able to walk away. Seems like Raging was able to kind of zone out Jackie. And in fact, they have another hero coming in. Moon is going to rotate over on the Void Spirit, but he has been scouted out. They know he's around. He shouldn't really be falling for this Void Spirit rotation.
Does back off just a bit, does manage to snag away the bounty rune of Boom. Can get a top up on his bottle as well, and still has that arcane running. So if he finds a good flank, could look to punish. He knows the roll is down for a little bit longer. Doesn't quite have the backup to really use here. Remnant does miss. Afu's around now though.
Has been killed.
Moon, keep trying. Afu, a nice torrent to land. Yopaj surely doesn't really die here. There is going to be another astral step, but he's going to be just fine to swash away. Unable to commit to the kill here. SMG won't dive any further. They are certainly putting a hell of a lot of influence and just slowing down Yopaj in that mid lane. And speaking of the devil, he's thinking about that Rolling Thunder. Bushwhack, oh, it's not going to land again. Skem, unable to connect for the 2nd time in a row. Instead, they're going to go for the Rolling Thunder back in onto Pylai. The easiest target to go after, but if they can lock him down long enough, perhaps they can get him, but no. Yopaj, he's still trying. Keep in mind, John, he just bought a car, so his driving school's not really up there yet, Yopaj. Pylai is going to be able to walk out.
Yeah, another whiffed roll out from Yopaj, and still not quite finding that snowball they'd want from mid. And Pylai just in the right spot. Healing is also quite sustaining him quite well now. Level 2 Nature's Attendance on the board. So bursting him down is a pretty tall order for a Pango. And the side of SMG is starting to really delay that aggression out from Boom while also making moves bot. Jackie's all alone now.
He is. They chase him down, Moon, even with the rotation over. Jackie, he needed like one more creep to get that level 6 timing. In fact, they do not land the 8th Remnant, but it may not matter. Still FBZ going to try and rotate and help out as Jackie somehow still alive. Moon hanging around, thinking about jumping back in, but now Raging. He's the one who needs to leave, but he cannot. As FBZ will be able to catch him out of the Mars. Somehow Jackie survives the onslaught. Skem,
this great juice.
He may not be so lucky on the Hoodwink. So he is actually surviving for quite a bit of damage, but eventually will go down. He even found Tim's courier, but here comes Yopaj with the rotation. On the Pango, not quite connecting the swash. Doesn't have enough mana for the Rolling Thunder yet, but there it is. Afu will be chased down. Does land the initial stun, but once again getting a little bit stuck there on the cliff. Can they actually get the kill? It doesn't seem like it. In fact, now Moon's going to jump back in. Onto the Enigma they go. Tim's is going to drop Moon. Happy to take another. SMG they'll walk out with a 2k net worth lead.
And Yopaj is just finding these weird snags on the cliff, getting himself stuck in the roll and just not finding the follow through. So SMG starting to pile on, buying a ton of space out from mid one up top as well. The Monkey King has been left uncontested while the action breaks out elsewhere, and they're able to get a lot of damage off onto that mid tier 1, down to 400 HP. Clearing themselves out some good objectives and playing really well with Raging. He does have the Dark Ascension ready to go as well on that Night Stalker. And the side of Boom, just it doesn't feel like they're in full fighting form yet. Tims is a long way off from finding a black hole skill point on himself. No value points in Midnight Pulse. FBZ still working towards the phase boots into the blink, so you don't have that instant catch to follow through and try to rip someone off in the back line. And for SMG, they could just keep running. We're at that point where Kunkka support's starting to do a lot of work. Value point in the X is up. Smoke out from SMG for Moon and Afu looking to make plays here.
There you go. Raging does have the Dark Ascension, so quite easy to break the gap here against FBZ, who has no tree line to hide in. He'll show up on the creep wave, but it is going to mean his own death. They will chase him down with the Crippling Fear out. Eventually, they will be able to secure a very nice kill onto FBZ. Moon will be able to take another here in the Void Spirit. So far, Boom Esports, they just do not have an answer.
They're forced to play slow. They're forced to just keep trying to get this farm up on Jackie and on Yopaj as well. The Pangolier has been off to a really slow start. They might find Pi this time around.
They may. With the sharpshooter, it'll be much easier to take him down. Afu still hanging around in that Radiant jungle. It's going to be spotted out by Skem, but is going to be able to make it up. SMG, I mean, they lose the pos 5 inch, but they won't mind too much. Yopaj, he's thinking about the Rolling Thunder on Afu, but there is the X back and he has no idea where Afu's going. Just won't bother.
SMG just able to dictate the pace really well. Boom are just responding to movements in. I mean, they find that one kill on Pi, but it's an inch. It doesn't really care to die. They might find Raging down bot with a smoke though.
They're going to try. Bushwhack is there this time around as Raging has been caught out and they've got the sharpshooter. Should be absolutely no problem to take him out, and it won't be. Meanwhile, mid lane, however, Tims, he's going to be chased down, but Afu unable to break the gap to land the X. He's going to have to let him go. Instead, Pylai Die will now find Jackie on the jug. Just kind of force him away from that triangle and make sure he can't take these ancient stats for free.
This is so much space for mid one. All the aggression happening down bot and mid. Top lane left completely alone. Battle Fear almost done. Even more aggression coming through.
Yeah, shield crashes there. Yopaj going to block out most of the damage, but they are still chipping away. Afu going to back his way up. BZ has shown up, but does get stunned up by the creep of Pylai Die. They don't really have the level 6 in the Enigma either right now, so it's a bit of a tough time to try and force the fight. Oh, even with the level 6, you haven't got a blink or a BKB up. Afu, he's actually going to be spotted here by FBZ. There'll be an immediate bushwhack out from Skem, and that might just be a very simple kill for Boom to take.
Find something for their trouble, but they've lost their mid-tier 1. Mid 1's also gone to full Battle Fury up and running. This is just a free farm monkey, and that's scary. Your jug is going for Maelstrom. Jackie's not going to be going for the Battle Fury himself, just looking to have some early presence while still having some farm doing for him, but mid 1's going to be able to overtake real quick, and they need a solution for that. Maybe they're just confident that FBZ is going to be landing some good arenas once more to catch out mid 1. They've got the Midnight Pulse to also break. They've got some pretty good team fight to slow down the monkey, but this 3k lead from SMG is pretty big, and they're just constantly smoking up. Still Dark Ascension ready on Raging. Blink up on the Night Stalker. If they find something like Jackie or Yopaj with Crippling Fear, it doesn't take too long for them to burst them down.
It certainly doesn't. SMG not going to move in towards the bot lane, but nobody's going to be around from Boom to try and take out. Instead, they'll run right towards Tims, and they might just be able to pick up this Enigma. No harm in that, John. Boat will fly in, Tims. Eventually, we'll just drop, and Moon able to pick up his 4th kill of the game on the Void Spirit thus far. A very active game for Moon as SMG will keep going for more now. Oxygen pop, they've got the blink up, raging. He'll happily take the team fight as mid one. He does land a battle strike out. Yopash, he's been called out. He'll be able to swatch away into the rolling thunder. Now the arena is there, but they will have the Night Stalker just fly right over the side of the arena as Yopash needs to back his way out on the Pango and does do so, but the chase is still on. The 8th Remnant, it's not going to connect Yopash, somehow still alive, and now the Black Hole comes in. They do finally take down the Pangolier thanks to mid one. They want a bit more. SMG they eventually back off. Skem does show his way back up. It's a bushwhack onto one. Moon will be able to zone them out on the Void Spirit. And that's going to be enough for this team fight. SMG able to come out on top. In fact, never mind. It's not it for the team fight. Moon, get more chip damage, but that'll be it.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth there. They find a bigger kill. It's on SMG, killing off Yopash and Jackie, who shows up, tries to use the Omni, doesn't get a good set of bounces or too much damage at all off on the middle of it. SMG, they've got both back up if they want to counter. We'll get caught out there.
In danger. They do find one. Mid one, however, he's a much bigger target, but a nice mischief dodge. In fact, the bushwhack was going to land had it not been for that spear. Mid one still trying to run. They could not land the arrow there from Scanner's. Mid one is still being chased down. Yopash is able to take him out. FBD though, he's been caught in the meantime. They do take down the Mars. Here comes the rolling thunder from Yopash, but where's he going? He'll try to chase down Moon on the Void Spirit. In the meantime, Arthur still being chased up by Skem and Jackie. Does eventually get taken down by the Jug. So a bit of a successful team fight now for Boom Esports. Is SMG the ones to overextend? In fact, Moon, he's not out of danger yet, but he does have an astral step charge. He should be fine. Skem? Well, Moon's getting a little bit greedy here. Bushwhack's not going to land though. He is going to be fine.
And they managed to bail out, cut their losses. Still some nice kills coming out from Boom, but SMG still hold a substantial network lead. Tim's not the safest spot. Moon's still ready to go.
Tim's in big trouble. Moon will step in. 8th Remnant gonna land. There'll be another kill to go the way of the Void Spirit. Moon 6-0-3 thus far. Really just uncontested.
And they're having issues pinning down the side of SMG now from Boom's end. They don't have the best lockdown for something like the Void Spirit. They have roll, they have spear. You've got to be able to get the jump on. You need a blink on Yopash down line. He's going for BKB first, just to ensure he lives through some of that control and magical burst from the side of SMG as well. Afu dancing around here.
Could be in trouble though. They've got Raging Potato trapped up. Still, the boat is going to land, and that may have actually saved the day here for SMG. Nope, never mind. Yopash, he'll land the swash. Even thinking about the rolling thunder, but a nice spear back from FBZ onto Arfu. Not landing on a tree somehow, but it may not matter as the bushwhack was there. Moon still held, trying to go for a kill onto Yopash. Does find it, but now with the arena down, maybe they can try to trade with the spear out. They've locked down the Void Spirit Moon. He still surely has a way out of this with the Dissimulate, and the Resonant Pulse. He will make his way out. They are still chasing though. FBZ will eventually find the kill. What a messy game it's been thus far, John. Just so much aggression from either side.
Yeah, and looking at this game, it feels much more like an SMG game. This is exactly what SMG love to do. Just be disruptive, constantly force fights, constantly run around, occasionally have mid one join in. And for Boom, they're still trying to work on that farm for Jackie. Even Yopash isn't having the best game here, behind even Raging Potato's farm right now on that Pangolier. So the Night Stalker managing to build up, battle up. BKB coming out for Raging Potato relatively soon as well, 2 parts away. And once that Night Stalker has that spell immunity up front, and the initiation options for SMG are just all over the place. They could choose to jump in with Monkey, they could start with EX, they could start with a boat combination. Raging's gonna be super durable up front with a double bracer boat buff. And the burst damage from Boom just isn't there. They catch Pi out.
Another great spear up from FBZ. Not going to be enough though. SMG, they are grouped around. In fact, now Japoy, he's the one in trouble with the crippling fear out. He'll try to survive, but the X back into the boat. A perfect setup for SMG once again. Down towards the bot lane they go. They won't find another, but they'll be very happy with that mid pickoff.
Yeah, it's a big kill to get. They punish Yopaj just for stepping up a little bit. Really good ward still maintained here by SMG, playing in that area very well. In fact, all their vision's really good aggressively. One ward behind the tier 2 here on the tree line. Laning ward still remaining on the mid just to spot that movement out. This is space coming through from Boom for Jackie to farm, and he is still maintaining himself, managing to keep up somewhat with mid 1.
Oh, Jackie.
Oh no.
He stuck around for the large cap. He thought about it too, John. You can kind of see him backstepping there as he is going to go for the spin attempt with the healing ward, trying to get himself out. There is help incoming. In fact, the bushwhack does land. Moon somehow still getting stunned outside of the arena. That was right on the edge. And I could have sworn Moon was outside of the arena, John. How does that happen?
I think he was inside. He was inside the body of one of the soldiers in the arena. What? And wedged between that and the wall. It looked like it from my viewpoint. It's a bit finicky, that one.
Sure is shot. Under attack. Yopaj gonna try and go for a bit more here onto Fu. Does have the diffusal blade to purge him up. I don't think they have the damage. In fact, never mind. They've got mid 1. But he's gonna go for the fight mid 1. Moving in onto Skem, should have him. In fact, they've even got Japoy towards the north here, trapped up. It's been a very rough game for the Pango as far as Raging. We'll chase him down even further. In goes mid 1 with the Primal Spring and Yopaj. Gonna drop once again as mid 1. He'll put the hand up, but he's getting no high fives, John.
There will be another time.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, though.
Invisibility.
He's gonna be fine.
It's a tough one for Boom right now. 5k behind SMG, their aggression's just non-stop. They don't have any long ults to wait for. Moon already has his Ags up. The silence on Resonant Pulse just punishing them for not having any early BKB up at all. They're just so susceptible to all the stun and control. Moon though.
Yeah, gets caught underneath the sentry ward. Oh, Black Hole was committed. Unfortunately, apparently, John, you can Resonant Pulse in Black Hole, and he has an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, that was something. I mean, I guess the first tick of control didn't pop out from Black Hole, and the Resonant Pulse just came out faster. So that acted first before the first actual stun tick came out from Black Hole and kind of mess it up.
You'd be a great spokesperson for Valve, John. That's for sure. Zafu is going to go down here to Jackie. Moon. Still going to be able to back off. Moon. They wanted to be able to try and go after this mid-tier 1 tower, and it has been a long time coming, but Jackie is going to be able to take it for his team. That SMG, though, still a massive lead. 5k net worth their way. SMG, they just got to play this calmly. Oh, FBC! How does he do it?
He just has those sick game senses. He knows where the monkey's gonna jump. Unfortunately, doesn't latch onto a tree, so they miss out on the kill opportunity. Mid 1 just gets to scurry away, keep the farm game up. Working onto his basher here, Mike. Almost done. Just about 200 gold away. And once that's up and running, the Monkey King will the Jug is just not going to feel safe. You can get bashed up in the middle of the man fight. Jackie's actually opting for a BKB himself just because of all that control. SMG with a smoke here could find a good end.
Yes, Skem does break the smoke and moves immediately in onto Jackie. They've got the big target. They've locked him down. Do they have the damage? Yeah, they do. Jackie's already gone. Yopaj, I mean, he's got the Rolling Thunder going, but it's not going to matter. He's going to TP out as SMG. Looking for more, but unable to find FBZ. Are going to have to watch him walk away. But SMG, John, this game 3's off to such a strong start for him. And we know how important every single series is in this DPC format. I mean, one lost series, it can really work against you going into that major.
Oh, it certainly can. We already saw that to be an issue for Boom last time, although
FBZ going to try and fight back here against Spylight Die. They'll find one. Mid 1 still going to try and force the fight against FBZ. Does have the mask controlled up. He'll put the shield up and try to survive, but it's not going to be enough surely. FBZ, he will drop, and it's another successful trade for SMG.
They just find a nice big kill. They sacrifice Pi. Again, not a massive issue losing your Ench at this point. And Boom have to commit. It feels like they have to commit a lot just to find these kills. They have to commit some heroes. They have to spend a lot of time to find that burst. Scam now, not safe here.
They have found the hoodwink. Quick to jump in. Moon immediately blowing him up. Yopash trying to go after the Kunkka, but needs to go into that Rolling Thunder and try to go back in after Moon with the Omni/Jackie. He'll have the damage. Can they find more? They want our food, and it looks like they've got him. It's a very back and forth here between these two teams. Boom Esports able to punish SMG now. The one big thing is, though, Mid One has been uncontested this whole game. And speaking of the devil, he's found Tim's.
Has to pop the BKB charge, fresh BKB just to find that kill. Well, second use now, down to 7 seconds. Very well worked. You're stalling out the timing on Tim's. You're preventing that Enigma from working towards the Wraith Pack into his Blink, into a BKB, and just becoming this massive high ground issue. The
FBZ! He's just a magnet to Mid One. He finds him again, but the Wukong's command is out. A nice spear, but he is still within the ring, apparently. He is still within the ring, Jonathan. His Mid One is going to turn back in on FBZ. Yeah. Raging with the BKB, going to be able to walk out and avoid the sharpshooter, but now with the crippling fear and Dark Ascension, they can really start to move in onto Jackie, but he'll get the spin away. SMG still looking for more. They know they're ahead. They want the team fight, especially with the Dark Ascension up and still going for half its duration. You want to keep the fight going. FBZ, he'll get caught out with the Boundless Strike with Yopash. He has popped the Rolling Thunder, going right after the Night Stalker's Moon. Has made the jump in, but Jackie, he'll get the spin off in time. In fact, Moon, he does get stunned up, but not for long. He'll survive the Scam. Has he gone too far now? Nice Boundless Strike from Mid One. Connecting on 2, does secure them 1 as Yopash tries to jump in with the boat. He's going to connect and spear back onto Moon, but Boom, they are dropping real darn quick. They need to back out of there. SMG, they're the ones who can keep forcing this fight. Because FBZ, he's going to need to find his own way out. He'll tank through the damage, at least for now. But another Dark Ascension, rather crippling fear is there as FBZ's forced to try and BKB up and run his way out. Onto Mid One they go. Wukong's command, but the tree is going to block the way. He's still within the ring as now Yopash. He's too far forward on the Pangalee. He might just drop. SMG, they've taken him down another time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The aggression just does not stop with this team. They've still got a tier 2 tower to go back to, though, mind you, John.
Yeah, they cleared out, no issues. Then we open up the high ground if they want to commit. Jackie has had enough, just goes back to farming, working towards a Scotty instead, going away from the BKB build-up. SMG, and this is classic SMG, right? And when the aggression works, it works in a big way. It doesn't feel like Boom have a lot of room to keep that build-up they need. They've not been able to get that development they need on Yopash. Jackie, he's playing Jug. It's hard for a Jug to have that presence, especially against someone like the Monkey.
Jump in again, Scam. Trying to go on a bit of a warding mission, but does get punished immediately. SMG just not giving the breathing room here for Boom Esports. So move into the Roshan pit once again here, SMG. It's only Moon so far, though. You're going to need Mid One to make his jump in. Mid One, however, trying to work towards his Aghanim Scepter. Does now have it up completely on the Courier. So things get even more challenging now for Boom.
Yeah, it's a tough game. And they don't even have the full Wraith Pack up yet on Tim's. He lost his Courier on its way. So at least they'll have that option on the next fight, along with a Blink for Enigma in some time. The one good thing for Boom right now is their high ground defense is decent. Arena, Black Hole, Midnight Pulse on top is nice. It's a lot of circles, but SMG's not been giving them that opportunity to show it off. Get that Aegis up. As you mentioned, Mike, Ags is up on Mid One. He is more than willing to join these fights with the Ags Basher BKB. There's nothing to stop the Monkey King if he's in the middle of you.
This game is really just about circles, isn't it, John? I mean, you've seen how many times the spear out of the Wukongs in the arenas. It really has been a game about circles this time around.
It really has been, I'm telling you. I mean, Boom has a lot of colon-centric circles that we haven't seen yet. Nice spear.
Yeah, it is a nice spear. Twilight Dying going to get taken down immediately. That's something, but you've committed the Rolling Thunder for that. So SMG, even without the Ench, might feel like they can force this fight. They have the Dark Ascension up on Raging. It just gives so much vision during that night time as they are going to move in. FBZ immediately out with the speed, but it does not land. In fact, they're trying to go for the Maleficent, but it's not enough yet. Min one, more than happy to force the fight with the Aegis up on these flash. It'll bounce right through, but Tim's, he's already gone. Raging Potato, he'll drop to boot. FBZ, a nice spear away, but it's not getting him outside the circle yet. Instead, Moon does get caught out. The sharpshooter, it's going to land from Skem right on the noggin as Yopaj is still trying to force the fight. SMG need to retreat ASAP. Fu barely going to avoid the spear from FBZ. It's still a very close affair between these two teams. As Boom Esports, they are not giving up quite yet. SMG, even with the Aegis up though, need to back out. Or do they? Mid one with an Indus Room, he's thinking about it. Tim's, he just fought back on the Enigma. And he is going to drop. Mid one gets him with the statue. That's a big one.
No Enigma for a minute. Black Hole's just been on standby. The build-up on Tim's this time, it's been tough. Skem's been playing more like Pause 4. He was playing on the off lane. He's got a little bit more build-up in comparison. Raid pack is already up. Blink, it's still 1,000 gold off. BKB a long way off on top of that. And the threat of the combined force of Boom's team fight just isn't coming out. SMGs just has no worries. They've gotten a lot of value out from Afu's Kunkka. Has been doing a lot of work on that hero. The ROM buff has been sustaining through a lot of these fights quite well. And Raging's just been a beast on Nightstalker. Just blink forward, crippling fear on top, forcing Boom to constantly make some plays when they don't want to. FBZ is not safe here.
Yeah, Mid one just very active on the Monkey King, able to catch him once again as Mid one forced to pop his own BKB after FBZ. He will continue the chase. Yopaj, he's going to show up and the X is going to be there. Arena now is down, but Mid one, he got the Wukongs off in time. He'll be fine to try and force his fight or at least play defensively. The school's going out. Nobody dying though. The thing is for SMG, if they can win one team fight, they are going high ground. There's almost no doubt about it. It's not going to land on Skem. He's going to be alright in that hoodwink. SMG, they'll back off though. Except the fact that the aggression has not paid off this time. 31 minutes in there, they still hold a 10k net worth lead. Things are still very good for SMG.
About 5k of that's just solely on Mid one. 5k ahead of Jackie, doing a great job of just continuously building up on his monkey. You have that opening. Age is still up for a minute and a half. Lots of time left here to be aggressive.
Oh, nice blink out from FBZ this time around. SMG though still happy to try and force his fight on the high ground. They don't have Jackie around right now, but he does have a TP in 10 seconds. They're going to be fighting without him for that 10 though as Mid one get right to work onto that tier 3 tower. They'll try to chip away and slow it down as much as possible, but SMG are not backing off. FBZ though, a nice spear back on Mid one. He does have the Aegis up, but they might be able to secure the first life here onto the Monkey King as Mid one. He's going to stand there and try to man up. It won't work out. One more life to go. Darkest in there, but they got the Rolling Thunder in time. SMG, if they're gone too far. Mid one, he's got the BKB off in time. Meanwhile, Palai die. He does go down to Jackie in the backside as Tim's. Over the black hole out. They've got Raging Potato, but no. They will lose Tim's from the Enigma. And Jackie is dropping way too darn low. He'll manage and run out of there. Mid one, trapped in the arena. Now the bushwhack out. FBZ back in. Mid one, dropping too low. He's going to go down. Moon, he'll keep the fight going, but no, he's going to drop to boot. They've gone too far. It's going to be a full team wipeout for Boom Esports.
Oh my god, that was just another back and forth fight. SMG forcing it through the racks, trying to find that position, but Boom just a bit too slippery. Great spell use from everyone. The FBZ this time managing catching big spears and using that Aegis in that way from Mid one just wasn't quite the answer. He wasn't ready for his second life, gets caught out. They got a lot more value from the Midnight Pulse this time around with the arenas coming through from FBZ, getting tick damage off and percent where they needed. They still lose Jackie, so it's not the smoothest for Boom. And they lose their bot Rax. That's still a lane they're always going to have to check themselves against SMG, but they narrowed the network lead down to just 6k. And they do manage to get some room to get a push going from Yopaj onto the mid. And just clear out, try to threaten high ground the next time around they have an opening. You are seeing some of that scaling come in from Boom. I mean, the presence of Enigma just cannot be understated. He did get his black hole cancelled from a really well-used Boundless, as the panel pointed out, a great counter to the enigma black hole if he's not in there. But down the line, Tims will eventually get a BKB if this game goes longer. And once that's up, you have no solution for that black hole. It's just going to go off every single time. And that's when you start to get a bit worried for SMG. They've lost most of their lead. Jackie with a butterfly is actually pretty hard to manage. You have nothing to pierce through that evasion from the side of SMG. And Jackie's just going full defense now. BKB's going to be coming up next. Although FPZ...
In they go. Dump is out. FPZ not in trouble yet as the arena is going to go down mid one. He's been caught out again on the monkey, and now the Omni flashes out. They've got the monkey king a second time. Is raging. He has to back out. Somehow FPZ survives throughout all of this as Pilot die. He'll be chased down by Jackie. There's your bushwhack out from Skem. They'll catch another as Moon is trying to back, but they'll get Arfu on the Kunkka. 3 down again. I'll tell you what, it really does seem all about FPZ, John. How many spears has this man landed?
He's landed a lot, and that's the opening for high ground. No buyback in the Monkey King. Without the monkey, a lot of their damage is gone. They've gone all in on just enabling mid one to carry their gold here.
They're going
for tier force.
Yeah, mid one's down with that buyback, John. This could be massive for Boom. SMG, they can't lose like this. They can't lose like this, John. Not like this. Moon, he's going to make the jump in, but there's your spear out. The Spider Boom Esports going out again as Moon needs to back out of there, but instead they'll take Raging. Onto the tier 4 towers they go. Boom Esports. They want to put a little bit serious. They've had enough. Jackie's onto the Ancient. They have not got a pot to play with. Yo Punch will hold them back. There's your Kunkka. Arfu, he's going to drop. Moon desperately jumps back into the Void Spirit. He's trying, but the Ancient is dropping. Half HP, it's almost gone. Boom, surely they've got it.